Hello, Majid English 8 here. Thank you for watching my video clips. I hope that they are helping you develop your English proficiency level and contribute to your speaking, which is the primary goal of this channel. So today again, I am with you with another beautiful topic of our lovely book, Blue Interchange, good for intermediate and upper level students for their speaking skill. Okay, so let's go. Just a little enlarge it for you guys. Unit 2 of interchange, the blue, life in the city. Main areas that I am covering in this unit are talking about, transportation and transportation problems. So evaluating city services, asking for and giving information, expressions of quantity with count and non-count nouns, very important and useful grammar. Too many, too much, fewer, less, more, and not enough, very much useful. And the final grammar part that our unit covers is indirect questions with WH questions. So let's go to word power. Life in a city. Little enlarge it for you guys. Yeah. Life in the city. As you see, this is a subway, and this resembles a typical picture of a city. Word power, compound nouns. So do you know what compound nouns are? Compound nouns are nouns made up of two parts, two meaningful parts. So there are two words, both of them are meaningful, standing alone, but the combination of both makes a new word. Sometimes the meaning of which is different from the components put together. For example, we got the word green, which is a meaningful word, and we got the word house, which is again another meaningful word, but the combination of these two words, greenhouse, it's a different word with another meaning. It's not a house that is green. It's not a house that is green. Maybe Google image can help us. Greenhouse. So a greenhouse is a place for growing some kinds of plants and things. You know what they are? This is called a greenhouse. So it's not a house that is green. One point about the pronunciation of compound nouns. The stress in compound nouns falls on the first syllable, making it greenhouse. But that one is a greenhouse. So the stress here is on the second syllable, making it greenhouse, a house which is green. And there's a space between these two. But here there's no space. It's just one word, and it is pronounced greenhouse. That is greenhouse, adjective and noun. So that was a bit of compound nouns. Compound nouns are nouns made up of two meaningful words, and the stress falls on the first word. So some examples here, column A and column B. If we mash these two guys together, we can have some new compound nouns. I just read these words, maybe there's a new word for you. Bicycle, bus, green, parking, recycling, street, subway, taxi, traffic, train. In column B, center, garage, jam, lane, light, space, stand, station, stop, system. Okay? Now, what are your ideas for the compound nouns of this part? Probably if you pause the video here, you can think about the words compound nouns that you can form, but I have the answers for you. Here, I've connected columns A and B together. For bicycle, bicycle lane, and bicycle stand, and you know what they are. A bicycle lane is a special lane for bicycles just to go on the street. So that is usually beside a street. Bicycle lane. That is a bicycle lane. But what about a bicycle stand? A bicycle stand is a place for your bikes to, for example, park somewhere like this, somewhere like this. A bicycle stand. Bicycle lane, bicycle stand. If these two words are new for you, please transfer them into your vocabulary notebook. With bus, we got bus lane, again like bicycle lane, bus lane, a lane on the street dedicated to just buses. Other vehicles cannot go in that lane. Bus station, bus stop, and bus system. The bus system of the city. The bus system of the city, you know what that is? But what is the difference between bus station and bus stop? Bus station and bus stop. So there is one first and one last stop, which is usually the bigger, like in a terminal. That is called the bus station. But all those ones in between are called bus stops. So there is one first and one last stop, which is called the bus station, but in between there's a lot of stops called the bus stop. Okay, so that is the compound nouns we got with bus. Green and space here. Green space, it's like a greenery. Green space. So this is the green space of the city. The city lacks enough green space, or my city has a lot of green spaces. Green space. I think this word is not difficult for you. Parking. Parking garage, which you know what it is, and parking space. A parking space on the street. A parking space on the street that you park your car in. Parking space. Parking spaces. These are the parking spaces on the street. Yeah, parking space, parking space. Recycling, which has a little more difficult words for us. Recycling center and recycling system. Recycling center, recycling system. So I thought one example for recycling system could be good for you. Implementing a comprehensive recycling system can significantly reduce environmental impact and promote sustainability. Such a beautiful sentence. Implementing means starting. Implementing a comprehensive recycling system. Comprehensive recycling system can significantly reduce environmental impact. Significantly reduce environmental impact and promote sustainability. Promote sustainability. Very beautiful sentence. If the words in this sentence are new for you, please transfer them into your vocabulary notebook. And recycling center, we had one compound noun, and recycling system of your city. Street and light could go together. So we got street light. Street light. And what is a street light? Street light. So this is a street light, this is a street light, this is a street light. And that one with 3 colors used for driving, that is called a traffic light. So this is a traffic light, that one is a street light. Traffic light, street light. Subway, again like the bus. For example, subway station, subway stop, that you know the difference. The first and the last is called station, and the ones in between are stops and subway system. Okay, taxi, we got taxi lane like bus lane, like bicycle lane, and taxi stand where the taxis stay, for example, like a terminal for them or something like that. Yeah, taxi stand. Taxi stand. Okay, and with traffic, we got traffic jam, and traffic light. You already know what a traffic light is, but traffic jam, what is a traffic jam? Traffic jam is like congested traffic. Traffic jam. This is the sign of a traffic jam. And traffic jam is a count noun. So you can say a congested traffic on Highway 1, for example. Congested traffic. This is the picture of a traffic jam. traffic jam, traffic light, and train again like subway or like bus. Train station, train stop, and train system. Okay, so these are the compound nouns of this part. I don't know which ones were new for you, but please transfer them into your vocabulary notebook. But if you want to learn them, you need to use them in your speaking. For example, which of these things can you find where you live? So I recommend you pause the video here and start speaking. Which of these things can you find where you're living? For example, a sample response to this part could be, in my city, there is a lot of bicycle lanes, making it easier for bicyclists to go safely on the streets. Also, as for bus lanes, I see a lot of bus lanes, which again speed up the public transportation as opposed to driving your personal car. So lots of people prefer to take transit or public transport as opposed to driving because the public transport is faster, especially because of bus lanes. Or I don't know about recycling. For example, my city, Isfahan, does a great job in recycling because there are a lot of recycling centers throughout the city, and people usually take it seriously, submitting or giving their recyclable items to these recycling centers in return for some small items they receive. This is, for example, about recycling center. For example, about taxis. You could say, for example, taxis in my city are not very good. Most of them are old and in poor conditions, but recently I have seen that the city has added some new taxis to the taxi system of the city. This is my idea about my taxis, for example, the taxis of my city. Or you could also have your own ideas about this part, contributing to your speaking. Okay? So use these words in your speaking. They will appear little by little in your talk. Exercise 2 and perspectives. City services. City services. So here, this is one exercise before our grammar focus. It's going to touch on the idea of our grammar focus and introduce that concept to us. Let's read it together and see what it is. But if it is on our player, let that play us. Let that play it for us. 9, track 9, track 9, track 9.
Unit 2, Life in the City. Page 8, Exercise 2, Perspectives, City Services, Part A. Listen to these opinions about city services. Match them to the correct pictures.
The streets are dark and dangerous. I don't think there are enough police officers. And we need more streetlights.
So the streets are dark and dangerous. Dangerous, please pronounce this word correctly. Don't say dangerous. Dangerous, dangerous. And you know that if we go to our beautiful dictionary, Longman, dangerous is an adjective with the stress on the first syllable. Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. But danger is the noun for it. Danger. Dangerous. Danger. Okay, you got it? Dark and dangerous. I don't think there are enough police officers. There aren't enough. I don't think there are enough police officers, and we need more street lights. Okay, nothing new for you guys. Part 2.
There's too much pollution from cars, motorcycles, and old buses. In cities with less pollution, people are healthier.
So there is too much pollution from cars, motorcycles, and old buses. In cities with less pollution, people are healthier. So you know that pollution is a non-count noun. That's why it says too much. And here, no, it didn't have anything like too many. I thought there was a too many there. So pollution, non-count. Okay, that's what I want you to know for our grammar part. And the third one.
There should be fewer cars, but I think that the biggest problem is parking. There just isn't enough parking.
There just isn't enough parking, okay? There should be fewer cars. Cars count, so fewer cars. And the biggest problem is parking. There isn't enough parking. So the fact that the verb here is singular tells us that parking is a non-count concept. Non-count noun. There isn't enough parking. Parking as a concept is non-count, but parking garage is count. Parking space is count, but parking by itself is a non-count concept. There isn't enough parking. Okay, so this is some introduction on the concept of our grammar focus. Now, does your city or town have similar problems? Now, you're encouraged to pause the video and talk about the problems of your city. For example, in my city, there isn't enough police officers. I see that drivers drive in whatever fashion or order they like. There need to be more police officers in my city to implement laws. Or someone could talk about other aspects of their city. Now here, what do you think the biggest problem of a city is? So I have prepared a sample response for this part. This is the problems of a city. The two major urban problems are traffic congestion and affordable housing shortages. So these are usually the problems in every urban area. Urban is the adjective for city, so urban means related to city. Two major urban problems means two major problems in cities are traffic congestion, and affordable housing shortages. There aren't enough houses which are affordable for people to rent or to buy. Traffic congestion leads to long commutes, air pollution, and reduced productivity. Affordable housing shortages result in homelessness and housing insecurity, because many people struggle to find affordable places to live in increasingly expensive urban areas. Okay, so it says traffic congestion leads to, and affordable housing results in. So lead to, result in, and you see how you should answer. So first, give the topic you want to talk about. I want to talk about these two major problems, traffic congestion and affordable housing. Then in one sentence or two, explain your first point and then explain your second point. This is how you continue doing a sample response in your speaking. Okay? Yeah, that is how we can have a sample response. So we will have a direct answer to the question, what are the problems? These two are the problems. Problem 1 explained, problem 2 explained. I recommend that you pause the video here and produce a sample response like this one for yourself, okay, in order to practice your speaking. Even you can look at this page, use the words and phrases here and have them in your speaking. If you repeat using the things that you copy from a sample response, little by little they will become yours. Okay, let's go to our grammar focus. Yes, exercise 3, grammar focus. Expressions of quantity with count and non-count nouns. So count and non-count nouns, a very important and useful topic in our grammar. Everywhere you go, count and non-count nouns are with you. So beforehand, I have prepared a table here talking about the differences between count and non-count nouns in a tabular fashion. Count noun, for example, apple. Non-count noun, for example, sugar. Okay? So, with a count noun, I can say there is an apple. A and whatever. With a non-count noun, there isn't such an option. There are 5 apples. I can count apples, but sugar? No. Here, a few. There are a few apples. Counterpart for a few in count nouns is a little in non-count nouns. So there are a few apples, there is a little sugar. Okay? Some for count nouns, some for non-count nouns, right? So there are some apples, there is some sugar. What's the difference? Here is because it is non-count, and here are because it is count. There are some, there is some. Many, much. There are many apples, there is much sugar. There are a lot of apples, a lot of for count, a lot of for non-count. There is a lot of sugar. Okay. Negative. There are no apples. There is no sugar. Okay. Or negative with any. There aren't any apples. There isn't any apple. There isn't any sugar. Sorry. How much and how many? How many apples are there? How many apples are there? Count. How much sugar is there? Non-count. So basically, this is a table telling you at a glance what count and non-count nouns are and what the differences between the quantifiers used for them is. Okay? Now, heading to our lovely book. With count nouns, there are too many cars. Too many. There should be fewer cars. There are too many cars. There should be fewer cars. Counterpart in non-count, there is too much pollution. There should be less. There should be fewer. There should be less. In everyday speaking, we often use less for count nouns as well. For example, there are too many cars. There should be less. Everybody uses that. But grammar tells us to use fewer, which is not incorrect if you go with less. More for count, more for non-count. We need more street lights. We need more public transportation. There aren't enough police officers. There isn't enough parking. Enough for count, enough for non-count. Okay, so here it's not that difficult, I see, but I have prepared some examples for you here to have more practice. Just the formula. With count nouns, there are too many, or there are few, or there are fewer. With non-count nouns, there is too much, too little, or less. Examples with too many and fewer. The cake had too many layers, making it difficult to cut and enjoy. There should be fewer layers. So, too many, there should be fewer. There were too many people in the tiny elevator, causing discomfort and anxiety. Too many people, there should be fewer. There were too many people, there should be fewer. She added too many spices to the soup, resulting in an overpowering and unpleasant taste. There should be fewer, which means fewer spices. So she added too many spices, there should be fewer spices. So that is the combination of too many and fewer. The same with too much and less. The cake had too much sugar, making it almost inedible for those who prefer less sweetness. There should be less sugar. So, too much sugar, there should be less. The beautiful word of this part was inedible. Edible means that you can eat. Inedible means you cannot eat it. What does Longman say about inedible? Inedible.
Inedible.
Inedible. Edible, inedible.
The meat was so burnt that it was inedible.
The meat was so burnt, it was inedible. You could not eat it. Yeah? Inedible. So edible, inedible. For those who prefer less sweetness, sweet adjective. Sweet adjective. Sweetness. Ness is the noun maker. So sweetness. The second example, the meeting had too much information to absorb in such a short time. Too much information to absorb in such a short time, leaving attendees overwhelmed and confused, puzzled. There should be less information. Too much information, there should be less. So attendee, someone who goes to a meeting. Attend, go. Attendee, somebody who goes there. Overwhelmed means confused. And her wardrobe. Her wardrobe, it means like cupboard, closet. Her wardrobe had too much clutter, mess, making it difficult to find the clothes she wanted to wear each morning. There should be less clutter. Too much clutter, less clutter. So what does Longman say about clutter? Clutter. Clutter, noun. Clutter, noun. Large number of things that are scattered somewhere. Junk. For example, could you
get rid of some of that clutter in your bedroom?
Could you get rid of some of that clutter in your bedroom? There is a lot of mess and things in your bedroom. Could you get rid of that? So that is the story of too much and fewer. And now we have examples of enough and more. What about enough and more? Says there aren't enough resources available to address the growing environmental concerns we face. We need more resources. There aren't enough resources. We need more resources. But the sentence was beautiful because of address a concern. To address a concern means to answer a problem, to find the solution to a problem, to address environmental concern we face, we encounter, we have. This is beautiful. Transfer it into your vocabulary notebook. Address a concern. It's beautiful. In many underprivileged communities, there aren't enough opportunities for quality education and economic advancement. There should be more opportunities. Yeah. So underprivileged communities. Underprivileged communities means the communities that are a little far from developed cities, that are a little far from large cities, something like that. There are enough opportunities for quality education and economic advancement. So again, a beautiful sentence for you guys. And due to the budget constraints, limitations, there aren't enough funds allocated for much needed infrastructure improvements in our city. We need more budget. We need, there should be more. Funds. The word is fund. We need more funds. There should be more funds. Due to, because of, budget constraints. Beautiful. Budget constraints. Limitations of budget. There are enough funds allocated, given to much needed infrastructure improvements. Infrastructure improvements. Infrastructure improvement. Very beautiful. You need this word, infrastructure, in our city. So overall, you saw with these examples, not only did you learn the grammar, but also you built up some vocabulary for yourself. Now, added to that, we got this part A and part B to work on our grammar. So it says, please complete these sentences with the things we got here. So maybe even more than one answer is possible. We need, for example, more public schools. We need enough public schools, something like that. There are accidents. There are, for example, too many accidents. There are, I guess too many is the best. Public parks count. There are many public parks, or maybe you can negate it. For example, there aren't enough public parks. There are not enough public parks. This is the best answer if it is negative. There is noise. Noise non-count, so you should pick something from here. There is too much noise all the time. There is too much noise all the time. There is recycling. Recycling as a concept is non-count, like parking. So there is, in our city, there is much recycling. There is enough recycling. Or there is not enough recycling, in the negative. The government should build affordable housing, non-count. So the government should build enough or more. Enough affordable housing, more affordable housing, either could be the answer. The city needs bicycle lanes, count. So here, the city needs more bicycle lanes. The city needs more bicycle lanes. And there are free Wi-Fi hotspots. There are too many. There are enough, or there are not enough. Any of them could be the answer to this part. And about your city, for example, how do you complete these sentences about your city? The city should provide more. It's based on your city. The city should provide more public transportation because these days I don't see enough buses on the streets. We have too many what? For example, too many traffic jams at rush hours because the streets are too narrow for all these cars rushing to work in the morning or going back home in the afternoon. Too many. Or you could add any other count nouns here. There is too much a non-count noun, for example, pollution, for example, noise, for example, traffic. There's too much noise at rush hour here because everybody coming and going honks. There isn't enough. The word isn't tells us that we need something non-count. So there isn't enough healthcare. There isn't enough parking. There isn't enough clean air in our city because factories and cars are emitting lots of carbon dioxide every day, polluting the city air that we are breathing. There should be fewer, so we need a count noun. There should be fewer, like what? There should be fewer traffic congestions in this city. There should be fewer police officers on the streets because they are picking on people too much. We don't have enough public transportation. We don't have enough buses in our city. We don't have enough subway lines in our city. I think the one connecting south and north of the city is not enough. We also need one connecting east and west of the city together. This is the answer. These are the answers coming to my mind at this time. You can think and bring your own responses. There should be less, so we need a non-count now. There should be less crime in this city as it is a very beautiful city and people would like to have some peace of mind here. So there should be less crime, there should be less noise, whatever. We need more. It could be a noun, a count noun, it could be a non-count noun. We need more buses in this area, as people find it hard in the morning. Lots of people need to go on one bus, making it difficult for them to go or breathe. We need more, a non-count noun, for example, we need more parking in this area because in the evening lots of people are coming out to have fun on the street and there is no parking for them. Cars are just turning around and around and around. Yes. So these are the answers that came to my mind about this grammar focus. I hope that you have got it. The concept of count and non-count nouns and how to use them fluently in your speaking. Okay. Exercise 4, listening. It'll take forever. It'll take forever. Okay, so listen to a city resident talk to her new neighbor about the city. Okay, true or false? Have I got something for you here? I guess I have. Yeah or not? No. Okay, so let's listen to this part. Track 11.
Page 9. Page 9.
Yes.
Exercise 4. Listening. It'll take forever. Part A. Listen to a city resident talk to her new neighbor about the city. Check true or false for each statement.
Hi there. I'm Sophia. You must be my new neighbor.
Yes, hi. My name's Jacob.
Welcome to the building. Are you all moved in?
I am. Tomorrow I start my new job downtown.
That's great. So you have a car?
No, I don't. I was planning to take the bus there.
Oh, you don't want to do that. It'll take forever. There aren't enough buses in this city. We really need more public transportation.
Really?
Yeah, everyone has a car. And in summer, there are way too many tourists. So there are even more cars than usual right now. And don't even ask about parking.
Well, I really don't want to buy a car. Is it safe to ride a bike?
Yeah, people ride their bikes a lot, actually. Do you have one?
No, I don't. But I guess I'll buy one.
If you want, you can borrow my bike tomorrow. And I know a great bike shop I can recommend.
Wow, thanks, Sophia. I appreciate it.
Okay, not a difficult listening part. I hope that you got the answers. The first one is already done for you. The city needs more buses. So this one was true because the city does not have enough buses right now. There are enough tourists in the city. False. Not many people ride bikes. False. And Sophia offers to lend Jacob her bike. True. Okay, so let's listen one more time, see if there's any new words for
Page
us
8.
in this
Talk to
part.
her.
Hi there. I'm Sophia. You must be my new neighbor.
Yes, hi. My name's Jacob.
Welcome to the building. Are you all moved in?
Are you all moved in? Are you all moved in? Move in, move out, or move away. Move in. Move away.
I am. Tomorrow I start my new job downtown.
That's great. So you have a car?
No, I don't. I was planning to take the bus there.
I was planning to take the bus. Take the bus.
Oh, you don't want to do that. It'll take forever.
It'll take forever. It'll take forever. It'll take forever. Forever means all your life, but she means that it will take such a long time. Forever. You see? Forever. For all the future time.
I wanted that moment to last forever.
I wanted that moment to last forever, to be for all my life in that moment. So this is forever. It'll take forever.
There aren't enough buses in this city.
There aren't enough buses in the city. Do you see that she says there aren't? See?
Oh, you don't want to do that. It'll take forever. There aren't enough buses in this city.
There aren't enough buses. She doesn't say there aren't. Be careful. There aren't enough buses. There aren't enough buses.
We really need more public transportation.
Really?
Yeah, everyone has a car. And in summer, there are way too many tourists.
There are way too many tourists. There are way too many tourists. What is this way here? There are way too many tourists. So it is an intensifier. How? Let's see. Way is not a noun here. Way is an adverb here. Way, very far, by a large amount. Very much. So it is an intensifier. Her IQ is way above average.
Her IQ is way above average.
Her IQ is way above average. Means very much above average. Way, yeah? So there are way too many tourists.
So there are even more cars than usual right now. And don't even ask about parking.
Well, I really don't want to buy a car. Is it safe to ride a bike?
Is it safe to ride a bike?
Yeah, people ride their bikes a lot, actually. Do you have one?
No, I don't. But I guess I'll buy one.
If you want, you can borrow my bike tomorrow.
You can borrow my bike tomorrow. You can borrow my bike tomorrow, and you know that. Borrow is the reciprocal or kind of opposite of lend. Both of them verbs. Lend, borrow.
And I know a great bike shop I can recommend.
Wow, thanks, Sophia. I appreciate it.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it means thank you. Yeah? Polite and beautiful. Okay, that was not a very difficult listening. So, part C for speaking says, what things can a city do to improve the problems that Sophia mentions? For example, the problem here is public transportation. What are some of the things that a city can do in order to improve its public transportation? You can pause the video here and give your own response. Or first look at my sample response and then give your own. How's that? Solutions for lack of enough public transportation in a city. So these are the solutions. One solution for a city lacking public transportation is to invest in a comprehensive bus rapid transit. Comprehensive bus rapid transit, or BRT system. BRT system. So it is a rapid transit bus system because it's got a special bus lane. No other cars or things go in. So it's very fast and efficient. Yeah. And it doesn't have anything to do with Torchi, so it's a very fast and rapid system. BRT networks have cost-effective, flexible, and efficient transit options, reducing congestion and connecting various parts of the city. Another solution involves implementing ride-sharing programs or subsidizing ride-hailing services. I will talk about these words to you. Encouraging shared rides to optimize existing vehicle capacity and decrease traffic congestion, providing more accessible and affordable transportation alternatives for residents. It was a very beautiful sample response. We need to talk about it. Yep. Once more, I will read this part, which has a lot of words for you. One solution for a city lacking public transportation is to invest in a comprehensive bus rapid transit BRT BRT networks offer cost-effective, flexible, and efficient transit options. So, cost-effective, efficient, flexible. These are very beautiful adjectives for you to use in your speaking. Reducing congestion and connecting various parts of the city. Another solution involves implementing ride-sharing programs. Ride-sharing programs. Ride-sharing program is the time that 2 or more people use the same car. For example, today I bring my car and drive some of my co-workers. The other day someone else brings, and this way we are using fewer cars each day. It is a ride-sharing programs. Such vehicles are called high occupancy vehicles. High occupancy vehicles, or HOV, high occupancy vehicles. And usually they can go in some special lanes. For example, this lane is for high occupancy vehicles. It means that they are encouraging people to go to use the same car or have ride-sharing programs. Because the other lanes are congested with traffic, this lane is free for these vehicles to go in. So implementing ride-sharing programs or subsidizing ride-hailing services. Ride-hailing services, or some apps that you install on your phone and you take taxi with them, something like Uber. Encouraging shared rides to encouraging shared rides. Optimize existing vehicle capacity. This vehicle has got 7 seats on, so why should just one person go with it? At least 4 people can go with this in the morning. Optimizing existing vehicle capacity and decrease traffic congestion, providing more accessible and affordable transportation alternatives for residents. It was a very beautiful sample response. I recommend you may take advantage of it. HOV, so I will just add HOV here. High occupancy vehicle, or HOV. Okay, this was our talk about listening. You also are encouraged right now to pause the video and talk about the problems of your city and how the city can solve them. Okay? Now, this part is also beautiful. Discussion. Rate your city. What do you think about these areas in your city? Are they terrible, or are they excellent, or something in between? Needs improvement, average, good, or whatever? So what do you think about the recycling system of your city? Your answer should be something like this. For example, I think the recycling system of my city is excellent because it's a cooperative system of both the city and the people going hand in hand. On the one hand, the city has provided ample recycling centers for people to give their recyclables, and on the other hand, people are cooperating with the city in its programs, collecting and separating their recyclable items from the trash and giving them in bags to the city. This has contributed to the efficiency of the recycling system in my city. So this is just one answer that right now bumped into my head, but I have some answers for you here in order to make it simpler for you to take advantage, because it's in a text and you can pause the video and write things from it. So on purpose here there are 6 areas. 3 of them I have categorized as good, 3 of them as not good. Yeah. For the recycling system, the city's recycling system falls short due to insufficient public awareness and participation. So falls short means it's not satisfactory. Why? Because public awareness about that is not high and participation is that people do not cooperate. public awareness. It's something very beautiful. Insufficient public awareness. You can use it in most of your speakings and writings. Insufficient public awareness. Now, the support for that. Many residents are unaware of recycling guidelines or lack convenient access to recycling bins, resulting in a significant amount of recyclables being discarded as regular waste. Additionally, secondly, also, the lack of efficient collection and processing infrastructure results in low recycling rate, hindering the city's sustainability goals. It was a very beautiful sample response. Okay, so take down the words from this part and transfer them into your vocabulary notebook. Little by little, you may use them and they will be yours. So this was about the first part, recycling. The second area is parks and green spaces. Now, let's talk about this one. Firstly, so parks and green spaces in this city are good. Firstly, well-maintained parks and green spaces enhance the city's overall quality of life by providing recreational opportunities, promoting physical and mental well-being, and creating social hubs for the community. As I was reading this part, I exactly remembered the green areas of my city, Isfahan, in Iran, which are really well maintained, and they enhance the city's overall quality of life. They are not only the recreational opportunities for people from all walks of life, but also they promote physical and mental well-being for the residents and create a social hub for the community, like the part that bridges over the river that people go under and sing along some music, and sometimes they dance together. So this is a social hub for people, yeah, like Saripol Khaju under the Khaju bridge. So this was the first support why the parks and green areas of this city are good. Secondly, adequate green areas help mitigate urban heat islands. Mitigate. I will look it up for you in Longman to see what it is. By providing shadow, cooling effects, contributing to better air quality, and reducing the city's overall environmental impact. Contribute to, help. Contribute to means help. And what about mitigate? What is mitigate? Mitigate, alleviate, reduce. So to make a situation or the effects of something less unpleasant. Measures
need to be taken to mitigate the environmental effects of burning more coal.
What a beautiful sentence. Measures, actions need to be taken. Measures need to be taken to mitigate the environmental effect of burning more coal. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Okay, so this was the second one about parks and green spaces. Affordable housing. Affordable housing. Afford means people can buy it. They are not very expensive. Affordable housing means people can pay for that. The affordable housing situation in my city is inadequate. Not enough. Because of increasing demand, limited supply, and escalating property values. Means houses are, the value or the price of the houses are going high, escalating. Very beautiful. This imbalance results in high housing costs, pushing many residents to the brink of homelessness and exacerbating social and economic disparities. Wow, what a beautiful part. I would like to read that one more time. The affordable housing situation in my In my what? In my city, the affordable housing situation in my city is inadequate due to increasing demand, limited supply, and escalating property values. This imbalance results in high housing costs, pushing many residents to the brink of homelessness and exacerbating social and economic disparities. Very, very, very beautiful. About which part should I talk? Affordable housing, now you know what it is. Inadequate, you know what it is. Increasing demand, beautiful. Limited supply. Increasing demand, limited. Wherever there is increasing demand for something and the supply is limited, the prices should go high, of course. Escalating values, escalating property values, beautiful. Imbalance, this imbalance results in, it's very beautiful, just transfer this part in your vocabulary notebook. This imbalance results in high housing costs, pushing many residents to the edge of homelessness. Pushing many residents to the brink of homelessness. The brink of, the edge of. Brink is usually used for negative concepts. The brink of a disaster, the brink of a war. Brink. On the brink of death, disaster, war. In October 1962...
In October 1962, the world seemed on the brink of nuclear war.
On the brink of a nuclear war between that time the Soviet Union and the United States. Yeah. This one?
The company had huge debts and was on the brink of collapse.
On the brink of collapse. On the brink of collapse. If I want to translate that into Persian, dar astane furupashi. Yeah, on the brink of collapse. Very beautiful, very beautiful. So affordable housing, we talked about it. Transportation system. Are you tired by now? I hope not. So I want your active listening and active participation. Do I have your listening and participation with me? Please say yes. Please say yes. Don't look at me. Please say yes. Yes. Why do you insist? Like some of you who insist and don't subscribe to the channel, you resist here and don't answer me, please say yes. Okay, let's go. Transportation system. Public transportation in my city is super beneficial, so this one is good, because it reduces traffic congestion. Ease. Easy, the verb is ease. Easing, making easy, road commutes and decreasing air pollution, resulting in a healthier environment. Additionally, moreover, it promotes social equity. Equality means sameness. By ensuring that even those without private vehicles can access education, jobs, and essential services, fostering a more inclusive and connected community. Very beautiful, very beautiful. What does it say? It says, if we got good public transportation, everybody in every part of the city can enjoy the services offered to, for example, in areas of education, jobs, and essential services. Everybody can have access to them, fostering a more inclusive community. Inclusive means everybody is included in this community, means we are all one group. We are all enjoying the same services. This part was also beautiful. My recommendation, were I you, I would pause the video here. I would take down the beautiful words and things and transfer them into my vocabulary notebook, read them 3 times every day and use them in my speaking. That way, maybe they appear in your speaking. Otherwise, they will never. So it's you who can invest in your speaking. Your speaking needs grammar, your speaking needs vocabulary, but other than that, it needs practice. You need to implement them in your sample responses. Wi-Fi services. Let's see about Wi-Fi services. My city's Wi-Fi services are inadequate, not enough, due to limited infrastructure. Limited infrastructure, a very beautiful chunk. Resulting in. So you see how many times I'm using it? Result in, lead to, result in, lead to. Dead zones, the areas that Wi-Fi coverage is 0. And slow connections. Obsolete. It's not absolute, my friend. Your thinking is something else. Obsolete. Obsolete. Old-fashioned. Obsolete equipment. Insufficient bandwidth and a high number of users can lead to frequent disruptions, cut, and unreliable service, hindering, preventing efficient communication and online access for residents and visitors. It was very beautiful. It was very beautiful. So, inadequate due to limited infrastructure, beautiful, dead zones, slow connection, obsolete equipment, insufficient bandwidth, high number of users can lead to frequent disruption, unreliable service, hindering efficient communication and online access for residents and visitors. That was beautiful. And the last one, recreational and sports facilities. Recreational and sports facilities. Recreational and sports facilities in my city are great and play a vital role in fostering a healthy and active community for us. First, well-equipped facilities promote physical fitness. Promote, encourage, add, contribute to, result in, lead to, end in. Well-equipped facilities promote physical fitness and overall well-being, attracting residents to engage in various sports and activities. Second, top-notch facilities. Top-notch facilities often host local and regional sports events, boosting tourism and the local economy, while also providing opportunities for residents to witness and participate in competitive sports. Beautiful. So boost, contribute to, promote, and provide opportunities. And yes. Okay, so we talked about this part. Now, I did my share, my friends. Your share is to pause the video, take out these beautiful words, and speak, make sentences with them. How long does this part take? If you want to put quality time for it, my idea, 1.5 hours you should put time for just this exercise 5. Pause, take out the beautiful words, make sentences, even copy my own sentences, that doesn't matter. Record your voice, listen to your voice, again do that. Again do that, and after several times you do that, you say, now I'm satisfied. This is how your speaking improves. If you just sit and look at me like, what? Your speaking doesn't improve. It's just my speaking getting better and better. You see what I say? That's the pathway to better speaking. Record yourself, listen to that, pause, repeat, and that will do the trick. Yes? Sure, yes. Sure, yes. Writing. So I hope that the previous writing you have produced something. Please write. If you want your writing to get better, I am giving you samples and I'm giving you the opportunity to write. Please write with me. Here, writing a social media post. So a social media post like the one here. I'm tired of this city. There is too much traffic and it's getting worse. It used to take me 15 minutes to get to class. Today it took me more than 30 minutes during rush hour. There should be more subway lines. I think and these things about the services in this city. Now, a sample response I have provided for you, but you can use something like what the book has given. Write a post about local issues. So the title of my writing is Local Alert, City Park Under Threat. Our beloved city park, a green oasis. Oasis, what a beautiful word. For families and nature enthusiasts, oasis is a center, a hub. A green hub or oasis for families and nature enthusiasts is facing the threat of development. By development, it means the city is cutting down its trees and they are building apartments. So this park is facing the threat of development. Let's unite to protect this essential space and preserve it for future generations. Preserve, keep. Sign the petition, sign this letter, email. Attend the community meeting and voice, as a verb, voice your support. Voice your support. Beautiful. Come on. Voice your support for keeping our city green and thriving. Together we can make a difference. Sure we can. And here I have provided some hashtags for you. It's like a post, for example, on some social media. Hashtag save our park, hashtag local issues, and hashtag community matters. Okay, so this could be a sample writing for you. I suggest that looking at this part, you also prepare something and actually please write. This way your writing will get better. Okay. Snapshot. What do we have under snapshot? Some questions here for speaking. Common tourist questions. Common tourist questions. So a tourist to a city usually has questions like these for you. For example, what's the best way to see the city? You can give your own answer. For example, the best, in my view, for example, because my city has very beautiful sightseeing by the river, which goes right in the middle of the city. The best way to see the city is just by walking, or maximum by riding a bicycle. Other than that, you don't appreciate the beauty of the city. You gotta walk, you gotta feel the beauty of the river bank and the parks along the two sides of the river. So this is my answer. You can give your own answer. How much do taxis cost? For example, how much do taxis cost? Okay, it depends how long you take a taxi. For example, a taxi in my city usually costs, for example, something like, I don't know, $1, $2, $10. It depends on your city. And you give your own answer. Which hotel is closest to the airport? In my city, near the airport, there is one hotel, which is the airport hotel. And that is, I have stayed there for one night, for example, or some of my friends have stayed there for one night, and they have been satisfied with the services offered. A response like this. Where should I go shopping? You say, for example, my city is a historical one and there is some historical markets in the center of the city. I recommend you go there and see the souvenir shops there. You can buy lots of things to take to your family and friends. What festivals or events are taking place? For example, every month in my city there are some festivals and events. They are usually outdoor. Lots of people rush on the streets and they have a lot of fun together. Yeah. Where can I buy a SIM card for my phone? There are a lot of places where you can buy a SIM card for your phone. At the airport, when you land, you could have bought some SIM cards there. Also, there are some streets just dedicated to cell phones. In lots of these malls you go in the center, you can find someone selling SIM cards for example, this is some answer for this question. Where's a good place to meet friends? In my city, because it's a very beautiful city, everywhere you go you can meet your friends and have some places to sit and relax. And my special recommendation, depending on the weather, if it's in spring and the summer, by the river, that is the best part of the city to go and see your friend. Otherwise, you can also take your friends to some cafes and have a good time there. Where can I get a city guide? A city guide, yeah, this is something on the past of, but because these days everything can be found online, but A city guide, there are a lot of bookstores. You can buy a city guide or a city map, and yeah, this question is outdated, I say. What museums should I see? Oh, my city is like a museum. Everywhere you go, there's a lot of beautiful places to see, but especially this museum, I recommend you go and see because, and then you will say why. Why? Because there are a lot of items on display and you gotta go and see. In particular, I have gone there and I have liked this one, that one. So this is your answer. And what are some family-friendly activities? Family-friendly activities. So activities that are useful for a family together. It's not like a casino. It's not like somewhere that you go and drink. It should be somewhere conducive to family-friendly activities. Family-friendly activities in my city, for example, include this park where your kids can go and have fun because there are a lot of amusement places there. Also, it's good for parents to go sit and relax a little there. Maybe they can have some coffee or they can have their dinner there. So these were all the answers right now coming to my mind. I suggest that you pause the video and answer these questions based on your city and based on the information coming to your mind. Okay? Do that. Conversation, exercise 8. Do you know where? Do you know where? So, this conversation foreshadows our grammar for us. Let's listen to it and see what it is. Let's listen. I guess I have prepared something for you here in the Word file. Yeah. Okay, so please don't look at your books. If you got books, please close them. Please close your books. Close your books. Yeah, close your books and listen to this track. In what order does Rachel want the following list? In what order? So there is 4 things Rachel wants. In what order? Which one comes first? Which one comes second, third, and fourth? Okay. Track 13. Track 13.
Page 11, Exercise 8. Conversation. Do you know where? Part A.
So you know which one comes first, which one comes second, and so on.
Listen and practice.
Excuse me, do you know where the nearest ATM is?
There's one down the street, across from the cafe.
Great. And do you know where I can catch a bus downtown?
Sure. Just look for the signs for public transportation.
Okay. And can you tell me how often they run?
They run every 10 minutes or so.
And just one more thing. Could you tell me where the restrooms are?
Right inside. Do you see where that sign is?
Oh, thanks a lot.
Not difficult, right? Not difficult. Okay, so the first one was the ATM. The second one was the bus. The third one, how often? And the last one, the restrooms. So one more time, let's listen to it and see what it's got for us.
Run.
Pay and practice.
Excuse me, do you know where the nearest ATM is?
Do you know where the nearest ATM is? So maybe it's in your mind why the is at the end of the sentence. It is our grammar for today. Indirect questions.
There's one down the street, across from the cafe.
Great. And do you know where I can catch a bus downtown?
Do you know where I can? It's not where can I. Do you know where I can catch a bus downtown? Okay, I will explain that to you in the grammar part.
Sure. Just look for the signs for public transportation.
Okay. And can you tell me how often they run?
They run every 10 minutes or so.
They run every 10 minutes or so. So for buses, you can use the word run. You Can you tell me how often they run? They run every 10 minutes or so.
And just one more thing. Could you tell me where the restrooms are?
Right inside. Do you see where that sign is?
Do you see where that sign is? Do you see where that sign is? It's not a question form anymore.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Okay, you got it? So this is the idea of indirect questions. But before that, we got here this part B. Let's listen to part B and see if it's got anything.
Page 11, Exercise 8, Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. Check the information that Rachel asks for.
Which information does Rachel ask for? Okay, the cost of the bus fare. Bus fare. Bus fare is the money that you pay for. Fare is the money for transportation. Bus fare. The cost of the city guide, the location of the taxi stand, and the location of a bookstore. So, which of these things does she ask for?
Excuse me? It's me again. I'm sorry. I need some more information, if you don't mind. Do you know how much the bus costs?
It's $10. You can buy a ticket on the bus.
$10? Wow.
Well, a taxi costs about $25.
Okay. And do you know where a bookstore is? I'd like to get a city guide.
Go 2 blocks down and turn right. You'll see one on your left.
Thanks very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
So not difficult, right? Asking about the bus fare and the bookstore, yeah? So one more time, there were some points in this list.
Page 11 of the conversation.
Excuse me? It's me again. I'm sorry. I need some more information, if you don't mind.
I need some more information if you don't mind. If you don't mind. You know what it means. If you don't mind means if it's not important for you, if it doesn't bother you. Mind means annoy, bother. If it doesn't annoy you, if it doesn't bother you. I got some other questions if you don't mind.
Do you know how much the bus costs?
It's $10. You can buy a ticket on the bus.
On the bus. Be careful. On the bus. On the airplane. On the ship. On.
$10? Wow.
Well, a taxi costs about $25.
Okay. And do you know where a bookstore is? I'd like to get a city guide.
Go 2 blocks down and turn right.
Go 2 blocks down and turn right. Go 2 blocks down and turn right.
You'll see one on your left.
Thanks very much.
You'll see one on your left. On your left. So, we got 2 other useful things with on the bus, on your left, on your right.
Much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Have a nice day, you too. Okay, so this was not very difficult. The conversation just it introduced the concept of indirect questions. Exercise 9 in indirect questions. Indirect questions from WH questions or from information questions. So basically, why do we have indirect questions? We can have direct questions. What's wrong with them? These are the direct questions. Why do we have indirect questions? The answer is that indirect questions are more polite. They are less direct. They are less harsh. So they could be more polite than direct questions. For example, where is the nearest ATM? But what if you say, could you tell me where the nearest ATM is? This sounds more polite than that one. Now, what is the rule? Indirect questions start with, could you tell me? Do you know? Can you tell me? Any of them you use is the same and no difference. And the question that comes here is in a question form. Where is the nearest ATM? But here it's not in the question form anymore, anywhere. Where the nearest ATM is. Where the restrooms are. So have it in your mind. You start your question with do you know? Could you tell me? Can you tell me? Or anything like that. Here your sentence is not in a question form anymore. Of course, it is a question. It is a question. But here, where the nearest ATM is. Could you tell me where the nearest ATM is? Do you know where the restrooms are? Where are the restrooms? Do you know where the restrooms are? So, if your WH has got a form of to be, that's how you answer it. If it's got any versions of do, does, did, what do we do with that? Again, the same story. You just take that question format from this sentence. How often do the buses run? Can you tell me how often the buses run? So this do is omitted. Can you tell me how often the buses run? While if this do was a does, for example, how often does this bus run? Can you tell me how often this bus runs? I will have more examples like these for you in the word file. Here I'm just touching on the idea. What time does the bookstore open? Do you know what time the bookstore opens? So this is WH questions with do. And with can. Where can I catch? Do you know where I can catch? Where can I? Do you know where I can? What time does? Do you know what time the bookstore opens? How often do the buses run? Can you tell me how often they run? Where are the restrooms? Do you know where the restrooms are? Where is the nearest ATM? Could you tell me where the nearest ATM is? Okay, this is the idea of indirect questions, and you basically know how to form them. But here I got some more examples for you. Indirect questions with be. Do you know what the deadline for the project is? So the direct question for that is, what is the deadline for the project? Do you know what the deadline for the project is? Do you know where the nearest hospital is? The indirect question for that is, where is the nearest hospital? Okay, this one is not difficult. Neither are the other ones. Indirect questions with do, does, or did. Do you know what time the concert starts? So the question, the direct one is this. What time does the concert start? Do you know what time the concert starts? Do you know when the next train to New York departs? Goes? So again, it is with a does. Do you know how much the museum tickets cost? It is with a do. Do you know how much the museum tickets cost? So the direct one is, how much do the museum tickets cost? Do you know how much they cost? And this one with a did. Do you know when they left the party? When did they leave the party? Do you know when they left the party? Here they are all with do you know. It could be with could you tell me? Can you tell me? Or any other. Okay? And indirect questions with can. Do you know when we can find out the best result, the test results? Do you know when we can find out the test results? When can we? Do you know when we can? Could you tell me when I can schedule a meeting with the manager? When can I schedule? Could you tell me when I can? Can you tell me when I can expect the package to be delivered? When can I expect? Can you tell me when I can expect? Okay. So this is the idea of indirect questions. I hope you got it. Did you? But sometimes in your speaking you forget. You say, do you know where is? Do you know where is? Could you tell me what time does this open? No. Could you tell me what time this opens? Be careful in your speaking. And this part, change these guys into indirect ones. Where can I rent a car? Do you know where I can rent a car? Good. How much does a city tour cost? Do you know how much a city tour costs? With an S at the end. How early do the stores open? Could you tell me how early the stores open? When it's a do, no change in the verb. When it's a does, an S. Where's the nearest Wi-Fi hotspot? Do you know where the nearest Wi-Fi hotspot is? How much does a taxi to the airport cost? Could you tell me how much a taxi to the airport costs? And you know that we can use do you know, could you tell me, can you tell me for any of them. What time does the post office open? Do you know what time the post office opens? Where's an inexpensive hotel in this area? Do you know where an inexpensive hotel in this area is? And finally, how late do the nightclubs stay open? How late do the nightclubs stay open? Do you know how late the nightclubs stay open? Do you know, here we got how early, how late. How early, how late. How early means from when, and how late means till when. The translation into Persian for that would be how late تا کی. تا کی nightclub بازن. از کی. از کی تا کی. Okay? From when till when. And that is the grammar focus, and that is the indirect questions. With all these examples that I provided, you must have learned it by now. Have you? Prove me wrong. Surely you have learned it. Surely. Okay. Exercise 10 and pronunciation. Syllable stress. Syllable stress. Very important for you to pronounce words correctly. If you want to sound at least not native-like, but the closer the better. The closer the better. 2-syllable words here with the stress on the first syllable, with the stress on the second syllable. Let's listen to Mr. Native and see how he pronounces it.
Page 11. Page 12. Exercise 10. Pronunciation. Syllable stress. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice which syllable has the main stress in these 2-syllable words.
These 2-syllable words. Listen, please repeat.
Subway.
Subway.
Traffic.
Traffic. Subway. Traffic.
Garage.
Garage. Garage. Are you repeating with me? Thank you. Garage.
Police.
Police. Police. Stress is on police. It's like saying please, police. Okay? Part B. You decide where the stress falls in these words. So before I play it for you, you guess. This one, buses, group 1. This one, I told you, it's a compound noun made up of 2 parts, so the stress must be on the first word. Bookstore, group 1. Event, event, event. This one. This one, hotel, hotel. It's not hotel, it is hotel. Please pay attention to your pronunciation. It matters if you pronounce it hotel or hotel. It is hotel. This one, improve, improve. Tell you something. Stress pattern of most verbs falls on the second syllable. It's a verb. Usually the verbs carry their stress on the second syllable. So improve. Provide, again. Public, first. Taxis, first. Okay? And if you want to listen to Mr. Native,
Page 12.
Improve. Buses.
Buses.
Improve.
Improve. Please repeat.
Bookstore.
Bookstore.
Provide.
Provide.
Event.
Event.
Public.
Public.
Hotel.
Hotel.
Taxis.
Taxis. Okay, where do I check the stress pattern of the words? Easy peasy Japanesey. Improve. See? Improve.
Improve.
Improve. Improve. So, dictionary. You know what? I am thinking of creating a playlist in just talking about dictionary, Longman dictionary, reading the words, talking about the examples, the stress pattern and things, and covering Longman dictionary together. I am providing the infrastructure for that. I will do that. So soon you will see one playlist just reading the examples and the beautiful concepts of Longman dictionary, working that together. That must be much useful and beneficial for advanced students. Okay, and the speaking, okay, we had a lot of speaking today, and the speaking here is not that much of a speaking because it wants you to have some grammar, I mean the indirect questions used to be implemented here. It says, where's the nearest area to stay? Do you know where the nearest area to stay is? What's the best way to see the city? Could you tell me what the best way to see the city is? Very good. If you want to give the answer before I do, please pause the video, give your answer, and then check mine. How late do the buses run? Do you know how late the buses run? You drop the do. How much do people tip in a restaurant? Could you tell me how much people tip in a restaurant? What's a good restaurant to try the local food? Do you know what a good restaurant to try the local food is? What are the most popular attractions? Could you tell me what the most popular tourist attractions are? And I added a word here. Could you tell me what the most popular attractions are? And where can I hear live music? Do you know where I can hear live music? Okay, so this is grammar that we worked on, and also you could pause the video and give answers to these. For example, in your city, where can I live? Where can I hear live music? In my city, usually live music is not found that frequently on the streets, but there is one bridge, one traditional bridge called Haju Bridge in my city, under which there are some lovely people getting together and singing and dancing along. So that is a very beautiful part that you can go and listen live music. It's most of the time traditional Iranian music going on there, and the atmosphere there is quite cozy and warm. Lots of people go there to have fun. This is one answer coming to my mind. Based on your idea, you can give your own answer. And the unit is finishing, my friends. Exercise 13 and the reading of the unit. The world's happiest cities. The world's happiest cities. Okay, so I've typed it beforehand for you. And now we will go to that part. This one we don't need anymore. This one we don't need anymore. And this one also we don't need anymore. So we will go to this one. Reading the world's happiest cities. I read the reading for you and cover the new words of that with you. When author Dan Buettner went looking for the world's happiest people on 4 different continents, he found some really great places to live. Author, meaning writer. Author, writer. So the first happy city, based on what this guy says, Mr. Dan Buettner, Singapore. Singapore. With a population of 5.1 million, not millions. 5 million, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. It is a count noun, but the singular and plural forms are the same. The same is true for 1,000, yeah, or 100. With a population of 5.1 million, Singapore is really crowded and people work very long hours. Yet, but 95% of Singapore residents, citizens, people say that they are happy. Subway trains almost always arrive on time. The police are good at their jobs. The police are good at their jobs and always ready to help. People in Singapore love that their city is so clean and safe. So this was about Singapore, okay? Aarhus. This is a city. In case sometimes you don't know how to pronounce a word, you can go to Mr. Google and say pronunciation of this one. And then it will give you the pronunciation. For example,
Aarhus, the second largest city in Denmark.
It says Aarhus, Aarhus. Yeah, people from Denmark could come and leave their comments under this post telling me how they pronounce this city. Anyway, although people pay an incredible 68% of their salaries in taxes here, so 2/3 of their salaries go for taxes, they get lots of services for free, including healthcare, education, daycare for young children. The city has lots of entertainment options too, like museum, shopping, and nightlife. For those who love nature, it's only a 15-minute bike ride. A 15-minute bike ride and not 15 minutes. You know why? You don't? 15-minute bike ride. We have talked about it a lot, but I will do that again. A 15-minute bike ride to incredible beaches and forests. So why is it 15 minutes and not 15 minutes? So I say, for example, this ride takes 15 minutes. So it is a 15-minute ride. It is a 15-minute ride. Or, for example, I say she's 8 years old. She's 8 years old. For example, this girl, Eileen, is 8 years old. Or she is an 8-year-old girl. Or you could say, for example, I got an 8-year-old girl. I got an 8-year-old girl. Eileen is an 8-year-old girl. Okay, so this is the story of hyphen without the S, plural S. San Luis Obispo, California, USA. People here smile and feel happy more than in any other American city. Most people travel less than 10 minutes to work, and there are lots of bike lanes, so commuting is easy. Residents share their joy with others, too. Almost 25% of people in San Luis Obispo volunteer to help people in their free time. I think it's not a very difficult reading. Okay, and Monterrey in Mexico. Although many of its people don't earn high salaries, they still feel rich. So they don't have high salaries, but they feel rich. People in Monterrey have strong family relationships and very busy social lives. They also have a positive attitude about life. They laugh and stay strong even in times of trouble. Good people? Good people. Okay? So this was our reading with the words that it's got, and I talked about that. Yeah? Okay. Now I got a summary for you here. Before I forget, let me put that in my Word file. I got a summary here for you. The reading summary. Okay. Let's see how we can make a summary of a text. Author Dan Buettner explored some of the world's happiest cities on different continents. In Singapore, despite a crowded and hard work population, 95% report happiness due to punctual public transportation and safety. So this is the summary of Singapore. Aarhus, Denmark, known for high taxes, provides free healthcare, education, and entertainment, including easy access to nature. San Luis Obispo, California, stands out, means is very important, noticeable, as the happiest American city with short commutes, volunteerism, and abundant smiles, a lot of smiles in the city. In Monterrey, Mexico, people value strong family bonds, connections, ties, active social lives, and a positive outlook, regardless of income levels, although they don't have a high income. These cities present unique qualities that contribute to their residents' happiness. Okay, finito, my friends, finito. This unit finished. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, and I hope that you practice speaking with it, just for the sake of a review of what we covered today. Here we talked about Interchange Blue Unit 2, Life in the City. Main areas that we covered in this unit were about transportation, about problems and the good points of a city, and we had two grammar focus parts. One of them about count, non-count nouns with these guys, and the other one was about indirect questions. So we talked about compound nouns. You know that the stress of the compound noun falls on the first word, greenhouse. It's not a greenhouse. You know the difference. We talked about compound nouns made up in snapshot of the unit. These were the good ones. Then we went to perspective, which foreshadowed the idea of the grammar for us. Expressions of quantity. Here we talked about count nouns, non-count nouns, and the table which vary you. I would take a picture of it here and saved it on my phone. And here we talked about too many and fewer. We talked about too much and less. We talked about enough and more. Also, we had the listening, which was not very difficult, just some words here we covered. And in each part, as you saw, I tried to present a sample response to the speaking of that part, encouraging you to provide your own sample responses for the speaking. Every part of this book should be at the service of our speaking. Speaking is something we need more attention. We talked about, in the speaking part, we talked about our cities, if we rate it as high quality or low quality in these areas. We had very beautiful language here. I recommend you pause the video on that part we were covering it and take out these beautiful parts. For example, insufficient public awareness. Very beautiful, very beautiful. This part, please. And the like. Also in the writing part, we had this local alert about our city. That one was beautiful, with voice as a verb. In snapshot, in the conversation, we talked about the things on the bus, on your left, on your right. Grammar focus with indirect questions. We talked about them. If you have indirect questions with to be, if you got indirect questions with do, this, does, did, or with can, each of them with loads of examples. And in the pronunciation, we talked about the two-syllable words, stress on the first, stress on the second. And in the reading, the world's happiest cities that we talked about. So, thank you, my friends, for watching this video clip. I hope that you have enjoyed it. And in case your friends could enjoy this teaching, I suggest you forward this to them and encourage them to come and subscribe to this channel and practice their speaking with it. Okay, so nothing else left from this side. Thank you very much, my friends, and be ready for my following video clips coming up. I hope you have a brilliant day ahead of yourself. Thank you for watching the video and have a good day. Take care and bye.